Welcome to the finals of the Arcane Series III cEDH webcam tournament. This was filmed during our April 6th event. Be sure to check out all of our events this year. Our next one is going to be May 4th. All of our events are on a Saturday and they begin at 11 a.m. sharp for the players' meeting. It's a great time to connect with awesome people, meet some new friends, have some laughs, and just have a great day overall. Stay tuned for the finals of the April 6th event coming up in just a moment. Our final pod is getting themselves situated here, and we've got an interesting spread of commanders. Thank you guys for tuning in and being here throughout the event today. While they're getting set up, make sure you check out our socials. We are Combat Step on most social media networks. If we're not, it's Combat Step MTG. So check us out on the social medias where you can find us, get updates on different things. Also, our next tournament is going to be next month on Saturday, May 4th. So may the 4th be with you. Let's hope for a record-breaking tournament. Let's break that 60 players so that this can be part of the Top Deck.gg Championship Series and people can earn points towards that. And then, of course, my partner here today, Mr. Scotty Baker from Amp Gaming. I'll pass it on over to you for a moment.
Yeah, well, all right, guys. We're here in the Final Four action. Thanks so much for joining us here. You can check us out, Amped Gaming, AMP_D Gaming, on all the socials. YouTube stream, got lots of cEDH content on there. Got some more stuff coming the way this week. You'll see the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Commanders. We're gonna be playing those cEDH amped up style with Joe Johnson from Tabletop Jocks. Looks like we're getting our mulligans underway here. We got Blue Farm, we got Atraxa, we got Sisay, and do we know what Jacob's on? He's on 5 colors, maybe?
Is that maybe another Sisay? Let me see if I can...
It's the first time seeing Jacob today, so I'm not sure what he's playing. Oh, maybe is he on Narset? Was somebody saying Narset?
Oh, that'd be pretty hot to see Narset today. I haven't seen Narset, OG Narset in a hot minute.
Hot minute, yeah.
We did see earlier in the tournament, if this is the Narset deck, we did see another commander, 2 commanders really, that oldie but goodies. We did get to see a Yuriko earlier, and there also was a Prosh. Yeah, Prosh. Some nice OG commanders that really were pretty scary back in the day. I know I personally played against Prosh in a my personal play group, and that was a very boogeyman of a deck. And then my personal play group also had a Yuriko, and we all kind of had to band together and fight through the ninja action because we didn't know what else to do with Yuriko. It was either you all fight together or you all die together. It was kind of like, which way do you want to go out? Either way, we're doing this together.
I feel like Yuriko's one of those decks that always majorly affects the pod. Doesn't? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks like we're Narset extra turns here. Narset Enlightened Master, or is that the new one? Oh, that's the new one. I think they still play extra turn stuff. Oh no, yeah, this is the old school one. Yeah, old school Enlightened Master attacks Exalt. So yep. Narset extra turns. Yeah, I feel like Yuriko's one of those ones that doesn't have a super high win rate, but always affects the table. It's always like you have to deal with Yuriko because he's taking life off the table and always threatens to win. But at least my personal experience, I don't see Yuriko winning a lot of the games that I'm in. But affects the pod for sure. Sisay, on the other hand, Atraxa, Blue Farm, we all see it win. Narset, haven't seen that in a hot minute, but it's a good deck. We know what that deck does. Once it gets those extra turns rolling, there's no stopping it.
You know, it will really steamroll people very quickly once the loop. I have an Narset deck myself, an extra turns deck, and once it gets going, it will steamroll the table. The loops are extremely difficult to break, and at that point, there's just really not much else that you can do. If you can't stop the first round of extra turns, you're not stopping generally any of the extra turns, and then it's just game over. Hardcore beatdown. Mine's got a little bit of spice in there. I personally play the enchantment, the Eldrazi conscription, so that as I'm beating you down, it just becomes even more miserable as you're annihilating.
Oh, that's brutal.
Annihilating your stuff until you finally just get to the point where you're like, I can't anymore.
Yeah, because I think that's the big thing with Narset, right? Is because Narset, the hexproof is awesome and very, very difficult to deal with, but at the end of the day, it's a 3/2, and if you've got a big enough blocker that you can put in the way, then Narset kind of runs up against that wall, right? Because you got to keep attacking with Narset. Yeah,
exactly.
You
You've got to find your way to get Narset through, and you have to be real careful too as you're playing, because if you accidentally take out the player that had no blockers because you want to try to get the things to happen, if you leave the player who has blockers last and you don't find a way to deal with it, then you end up in a position where not only did you take out a player, which may be okay, but now you can't actually close out the game because you left a player somehow who has blockers, and you just kind of pass and hope that they don't win until you figure it out. The nice thing though with Narset is with each attack, you do get to rip some cards off the top, and then with timing restrictions, you could play those cards and you could do some interaction. And hopefully through attacking, you can find the pieces you need if there is somebody that has blockers or a way of evading what you're doing. So that's kind of nice. It allows you to dig. Not sure what this version is on. And this is, yes, at Home Gamer, this is the top 4.
Yeah, and Tivit sometimes runs into that same sort of problem where maybe you've got only one player that doesn't have a flyer or something like that, where you can punch in. And the thing with Tivit is it's dealing 6 commander damage each time, so it can pretty quickly knock a player out. And then so even if you have your time save out, you're not getting your infinite extra turns because you're not getting five votes every turn, and so you gotta hope that you draw into your removal to knock out the someone has like a Birds of Paradise or something like that in the way. So yeah, it looks like we're still we got a turn one Mystic Remora out for Sisay, and everybody's looks like we're on Atraxa. And Atraxa is dropping a Duranith Magistrate.
Ooh, that's a definite problem for the table, especially the Narset player, because Narset doesn't have very many creatures. I would imagine doesn't have very many creatures in the deck because you want to be able to flip things you can cast. So that just kind of sets Narset off with no big mana, no big nothings to cheat in stuff.
Yeah. Old Ben Affleck coming down. We always joke around and call Duranith Magistrate Ben Affleck because it kind of looks like him in the art. But that's a very, very good stacks piece to get out on turn 1. Sets us up for the grind. Looks like we might have another grindy one on us here. Sisay doesn't mind, I don't think, because Sisay can just slowly just sit down all of its other pieces and then just wait for someone else to remove that Duranith Magistrate, and then once that Duranith Magistrate's gone, they can do their thing. They drop a Birds of Paradise. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. They're just going to slowly just start putting down their pieces drawn from Mystic Remora when people play their mana rocks and things like that, and depending on what kind of hand Blue Farm kept. What do we got here? We got a creature. I don't recognize this thing. What is this? Generator Servant. Sack him to add 2 colors to your mana pool. If it's okay, alrighty.
Not bad.
So that's a little, it's like a little sort of mana rock for Narset. You sack him, get 2 colorless, cast Narset. Narset's got haste. It's pretty good. Generator Servant. Obviously, that Narset not happening with that Duranith Magistrate out.
But Narset's one of those decks that at the early game, if they're okay with it while they develop their board state, and then once they draw removal, they can pop the Duranith and just go balls to the walls with it. Where even like Tymna Kraum right now and Sisay, they're not getting their commanders. Kind of stinks for Tymna Kraum because you usually want to get that early blocker out and then start swinging with your Tymna out to draw some cards. But you know, that's all right too.
Yeah, all depends on what kind of hand they kept, like I was saying, like they might have been looking like, okay, I'm gonna turn to Ristic Study, or I'm gonna, do something like that, and get the value that way, or sometimes you're gonna try to farm their value from their commanders. If he was counting on turn 2 Tymna or turn 2 Crom, he's not happy right now. So we'll see what looks like. Atraxa played their bird. Droopy just played for their fish and passed. Just sitting back. Okay, there we go. We got ourselves a cursed totem. Sisay doesn't like that. I feel like everybody else at the table is perfectly fine with that resolving.
Yeah, they're like, sure. Oh, there's the Orcish Bee.
Oh, Orcish Bowmaster on top of the Mystic draw here. He's pitching the Elvish Spirit Guide to pay for that. And what do we think our first hit's going to be? Are we hitting that Birds of Paradise, or are we hitting that Generator Servant?
I think the Narset player's kind of out for a minute here, but even Sisay is too. They're not getting that Sisay out. The bird.
Yeah. Well, he's got the Generator Servant has toughness of 1, so he's going to get to ping both of those things. He hits the bird on the ETB, and on the draw, he's going to hit that Generator Servant, I'm guessing.
If he can just play the controlling long game and just keep pinging things away off his opponent's field, keeping them stacked down with the Draneth.
Yeah. Atraxa's really, really happy right here.
What does that card... Oh, luck. I was like, what does that say? KKK? That says luck.
Oh, look, counter, yeah, because he's got a gemstone.
Pre-game action.
All right, yeah, hit that Generator Servant. He's gone. Sisay's floating to black. Maybe he's got a Vamp Tutor in hand. We're gonna have another draw, and we're gonna have another ping from our Bowmaster. Maybe going at, I think at this point we start going at Blue Farm's face, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's...
Yeah.
That's the best choice here. Narset doesn't really doesn't do anything with their life total, but that Blue Farm absolutely does care. They could be on Adnal's lines. They could be tough to deal with too, even once they do get their commanders back online. Crom's a pretty good blocker, pretty good beater, but they also have blockers, and they're not going to be able to pressure that life total if you don't pressure it early.
Yeah. Well, and with that the Mystic Remora out with the Bowmaster, that Orc army is going to get pretty big pretty fast, and once that Orc army gets to 5, he's just going to be able to smash right through that Crom.
This may be a game of the Orc army just beating people's faces in for a couple turns here while people try to figure out what to do, not having really any blockers of any kind.
Some shuffling going on here. Yep, we did see that Vampiric Tutor. What does he get? What does he get right here? Maybe he gets a clone, and he clones the Bowmaster here, or maybe he just gets himself like a Ristic Study or a Mana Rock or something like that, just to sort of
might be pretty good. Yeah, the Ristic Study wouldn't be too terrible either, especially if you're not going to see your commander anytime soon. You might as well try to draw some cards and either figure out what you're going to do or just kind of get that interaction in your hand. So Ristic Study could be pretty good too.
Okay, got ourselves a Ranger Captain. Sort of by getting himself the Esper Sentinel. That's not going to do much with that Orcish Bowmaster out. But I guess he might as well get it. Or maybe he gets I don't know, what else does he get? I don't think there's anything else. Ragavan's not doing anything. If he's running DRC, he just gets the Esper Sentinel and maybe gets one card draw out of it. He's swinging the team. He just swung the team over Droopy, huh? Okay. Couldn't get through the Ranger Captain, so does damage over there at Droopy. Mana Crypt. I'm guessing that's what we got with the Vampiric Tutor into Arcane Signet. It's cashing in on those draws that he got from the fish. And moving over to Narset. Well, Narset's got the mana for his commander, but unfortunately, we got a Swords to Plowshares.
Ooh.
I'm guessing that's targeting the Ranger Captain. I think, yeah, I think.
Get that off the field.
Yeah. You never know when someone's just gonna sneak in that Thoracle win. I mean, I doubt that's what he was going for right here. I think that was like a value sort of Ranger Captain, put in a blocker and maybe save it for a later turn when he wants to cast it. But you never know. He might be sitting with the natural Thoracle win in hand. So I think you have to get that Ranger Captain off the battlefield just in case. It won't be long for this world.
No, it sure.
Oh, Phantasmal Image. I'm guessing that Fimage is going to be copying that Orcish Bowmaster.
100% taking that Orky.
Yeah,
You need some blockers. You need the card draw. It just for him. It does everything he's going to want right now.
Yeah. Protects that Esper Sentinel. Now he's got the Bowmaster. I think more importantly, it's just like a kill spell for that Bowmaster so that he can keep his Esper Sentinel out. And then he gets his Ragavan. All right, yeah, he's got all his little guys set up here, and that's the power of Blue Farm, man. Turning that corner.
Not bad at all, really, for his turn too.
Yeah, I think he's happy here that Esper Sentinel is actually pretty big with the Drannith out there. I mean, people have got a lot of mana. I think they'll be able to pay for Esper a lot of the time here, but he's gonna get a couple draws out of that, and he's gonna get a couple treasures off that Ragavan. There's Droopy and Jacob don't have any blockers as of now, so we'll see if that changes. Looks like Atraxa just passed the turn, not hitting land drops, not getting mana rocks. I think he was really counting on that Drannith and the Bowmaster to allow him to draw into the stuff he wants. And okay, Oath of the Fury.
Okay, not bad. Just kind of patiently waiting, setting up.
Yep. Just get those pips out there for your Bloom Tender, for your Sisay, for when those things finally do come down. He doesn't have a lot of cards in hand, so I feel like this is just sort of he's just playing these cards to get him out. With that Cursed Totem out there, he's not doing much of anything, even if he gets rid of that Drannith Magistrate.
No, he's got to find a way. He's got to find a way to deal with a boat to really. What is that? Intuition?
We got ourselves an Intuition. Okay. That's a game-winning spell right there.
Jacob just gonna go for it right here. That's interesting.
He's gotta. Yeah, I mean, he's got to deal with that Drannith, so he can't go straight into breach lines. He's got to have removal for that Drannith. Maybe it's a value Intuition.
The Blasphemous Act?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a Blasphemous Act, and...
Is he just going to grab 3 removal spells and let his opponents pick the way that... Oh, Brain Freeze, okay. And the interesting choice there.
So maybe he made a deal with Droopy. Said, "Hey, I'll let you choose if you get the board wipe." Because Droopy's the only one who would want to see that Blasphemous Act happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Stockwell definitely does not want it, and our Atraxa player definitely does not want his Drannith gone if he can do something about that. He's
right,
pretty cool.
And yeah, I mean his bird doesn't tap for mana right now, but I think keeping the Drannith locked down, I don't think that benefits Atraxa seeing that go. So yes, and I'm guessing it's Droopy, and Droopy's gonna elect to go for that Blasphemous Act. I don't know, if you're. It looks like he's getting it. I don't know if you give that to him. I mean, I feel like, I guess it's really hurting Blue Farm, because even if that Drannith Magistrate is gone, Sisay still can't do anything with that. Still can't do anything with that Cursed Totem out.
No, he doesn't have a ton of mana, even though the Blasphemous Act wouldn't cost very much. there's not gonna be much mana left after that to do anything.
Right.
So it might just be clear the board, and that's all. Just what else that I've got. So I'll wait. I'll let y'all try to figure out, because the rest of the pieces are in my graveyard for later when I need them.
Yeah. So Blasphemous Act resolves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he paid 2 for the Blasphemous Act, and then drops Lotus Petal and just passes the turn. Was he supposed to? Did he get a draw there from his Esper Sentinel? I didn't see if Stockwell got his draw.
I didn't see if he got, or if he missed the draw as he was scooping up the cards and.
Yeah, because I counted 7 creatures, so he should have paid 2 for that Blasphemous Act. Well, easy come, easy go, as they say. Blue Farm was looking good, and now I think that the Blasphemous Act definitely puts Narset in a very nice position. Got ourselves a Mana Vault here from Mox, or is that Mox Opal? Mox Opal?
Yeah, it looks like it's a Mopal.
So yeah, he's gonna get out that Kraum. Is he gonna get out Tymna? Is he gonna hold up interaction? Maybe he's got Adnons in hand.
Only has just a couple cards too, so yeah. Maybe get out Tim. Maybe Kraum. I don't know. You need some card draw to get yourself back in the game after losing all of that.
Well, he played that Ranger Captain earlier, and we don't know that Ranger Captain could have been real. That could have been like he's going to go for Adnals on his turn or something. But all that work he did, work he did in that last turn, really good last turn, and man, one board wipe. You don't see Blasphemous Act a whole lot in this.
You don't. In board wipes in general, you don't. Maybe like you might see Toxic Deluge, but there's the Adnaz.
There it is.
Okay.
Main phase Adnaz.
Does he just fly in under the radar and take the game there? We know there wasn't a ton of interaction, it didn't look like. Oh, what is that?
Oh, Mindbreak Trap.
Nice. Okay.
That is the Mindbreak Trap, and he's going to Swan Song that Mindbreak Trap.
Any more interaction to be had at the table here? Looks like people are thinking, people are talking, but it looks like it is going to go. So here we go. Does Stockwell get the pieces he needs to just GG, and that's it?
Well, he got the consultation, so he's on his way. Looks like a Metamorph there. Not doing much. I guess he can get a Mana Rock if he wants it. Some interaction there. Luster, Intuition. What is that? I don't know what that one was. Metal Misstep. Red Blast. That is Smothering Tithe, right?
Yeah, looks like that's a...
Yeah, that's a big chunk of his life right there. I don't know what that card between the Command Tower and the Metal Misstep is, but he's going for it here. In Diabolic Intent.
Just needs one more piece. There's a Lotho. If he can get that one more piece without...
Yeah, Chain of Vapor.
Ooh.
Wheel. He needs Born Upon a Wind. That's not it. He needs a free Mana Rock is what he needs really here. 1, 2, 3. Oof. That's opposition.
Stopping there, and that's
stopping
and passing the turn without maybe.
Yeah, he really needed a Chrome Mox or a Lotus Petal or something like that, and I don't see that he got. Oh no, he does. He does have a Lotus Petal in there. Okay, he's stopping here. He's got a Lotus Petal. Okay, he needed something to turn that Mox Opal on.
So now he's sitting pretty cool. I didn't see him. I missed the Lotus Petal, so that was good.
Yeah. I don't think he's got a win here unless he's got Thassa's Oracle in hand. If you got Thassa's Oracle in hand, you just go for it. He's contemplating that Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel and just try to get hope you can get there with the wheel, but also don't wheel. Right now, we're thinking his opponents might not have any interaction, but do you take the chance of wheeling them into all the interaction, knowing that you don't have it here anyways? Yeah. At this point, everybody
else has very low cards in hand. Everybody has 3 cards in hand, so I don't think a wheel is what you want to do here. I think, thankfully that Blasphemous Act cleared the board, so he's got He's got a 2/2 bird on Atraxa's side that can smack him in the face. And then he's going to take 1 from that mana vault. So he's essentially at 1 life right here if he passes the turn.
Yeah, if he passes and does not close it out, I think he's out of this game for sure. I don't think he lives to really see his next turn or do much. Unfortunately for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't know what. I don't know. There's nothing else really on board that can do damage to him unless somebody flashes out does a Ragavan whatever that ability's called that Ragavan's got, dash.
The dash ability.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else is on board or what else somebody could have that would do 1 point of damage to him because the
bow.
Yeah, I mean, well, Atraxa's already played his, and I don't think Sisay plays it, so he's good there. I think, yeah, I mean, as weird as that sounds, I think he takes 2 from the Swan in his upkeep, he takes 1 from the Mana Vault, and he's at 1 life, and he's got an opportunity, I think, to... he's got an opportunity if he can live through the turn here. He's got... he doesn't have everything he wants, but he's got Intuition in his hand, so he goes to his turn, casts Intuition, and can just win it there. But that's because Sisay doesn't have a lot of cards and is locked down on that Curse Totem. Atraxa's not even close to being able to cast Atraxa, and Narset, without something to give it haste, Narset's not going to be able to attack. I think that's his biggest worry right now. If he passes the turn, is that Narset has something, either has like Lightning Bolt or has something with haste. Because we've already seen he played that Generator Servant, which is something that gives Narset haste. I don't know. Do you play any? Do you play like Lightning Greaves or any of those other kind of effects that would give Narset haste?
And I do play Lightning Greaves in my Narset. I also run Lightning Bolt, and I also run the Grape Shot or Gut Shot, whatever the Storm one is.
Okay.
Where you can ping people.
Sure. Uh-huh.
So he may have a couple options.
Grape
actually.
Shot, yeah. And there's
I linked their deck list in the chat. Let's take a look and just see what options.
Is there isn't there like a cantrip, like 1 red, target creature gets haste, draw a card, something like that?
Yes, and I am not seeing that in the list.
He's pitching. Okay, he pitched the Consultation. Okay, so I think he's holding on to the Intuition, and I think he's just going to pass the turn, and he's going to try to Intuition into that Breach line next turn. If he can get that to resolve, we know he's got some counter spells in there. Atraxa's drawn. Atraxa is swinging 2, and guessing that's going over at Stockwell. He's gonna eat that 2. He's eating it, so he's at 1 effectively on his turn here. Passing to Sisay. Let's see what Sisay can do. 6. Okay. Gets that Mana Crypt. That was a gutsy move going for that main phase Adnaz there. I think.
It could still pay off for him if it's all in his bin. He might still be.
Yeah. I think you might have just. I don't know, man. I think you pass the turn, right? You play your mana rocks and then you pass the turn and do the Adnaz in somebody else's end step or something, or on top of somebody else's win attempt. Unless you have to. I feel like you didn't have to push. Maybe he was just seeing that everybody was tapped out, more or less, and didn't have a lot of cards in hand. Oh, okay.
Saheeli Rai, OG Saheeli. That can confirm my damage. If that could hurt.
Yeah, 1 damage to each opponent. Scry 1 damage to each opponent. That does it. Oh, man.
I wasn't expecting to see a Saheeli Rai, but that's a good one in Sisay.
Yeah. I think they play it because you can make a copy of like Dockside or something like that. Oh, Red Blast.
There you go.
There we go.
He's got it.
I think he has to play that. Oh, Mental Misstep on that Red Blast, and then he's gonna have to play. He's gonna have to pay for that Mental Misstep.
You can't do the 2 life.
Yeah, and he has to counter that Saheeli. There's no. Like that's game for him, because sure, he can pay the 4 to untap that mana vault, but that's just getting time walked, and he's just gonna die anyways. So, dang, well, that was he dodged that bullet. Holy cow, that was a really good play by Sisay. Yeah, that says two things though. Like, I feel like if anybody else had interaction, they were going to play that interaction right there to help that Saheeli resolve. So if it passes to Jacob here, Jacob's got one draw to try to get something to interact with Stockwell, and if he doesn't, then I think
you're right here too, where if they, they definitely would have wanted to keep that around, knowing the odds that Stockwell is going to be out of this game, or he potentially wins, and it's so that Stockwell could be feeling pretty good now, knowing that he's pretty much got no interaction coming from his opponents. Jacob could do something weird. I don't know if Jacob runs a Ragavan, he could just dash it out and punt Stockwell out of the games. I know some Narset lists do run the good old Monkey Boy, but I don't.
I feel like.
Oh, Dockside. Okay.
Dockside. Okay. All right. Is he changing up how he's paying for that? You can't use that signet. There we go. Now he did it. Now he figured it out. Dockside. Yep. And that is that's good and bad. If it can be really good for Narset if Narset's got something here, but if we jump back in our time machine, I think we'll remember that Stockwell did pull up a Phyrexian Metamorph. I don't know if he chose to keep that or if he threw that in the bin in his discard step. But either way, that Phyrexian Metamorph is going to turn into a Dockside on his side of the board.
Which would be even more... that would be better for Stockwell if he kept it. We didn't get to see his full discard.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, I think he's going with that intuition line. He's going to intuition for a breach and lion's eye diamond and all that, the typical package. But we'll see what. I mean, this could be right here for Jacob. This could be him going for it, or at least putting together enough mana to stop Blue Farm. I'm doing some discussions here. So he's getting 3, 4, 5, 6 treasures out of this. All right, so he's got 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 9 mana at his disposal. Narset is 6, so that doesn't leave much else left. If he's got like Fierce Guardianship or something. Yeah, those signets are weird. I don't play the signets in Tivit because it's always weird with having to activate. You can't activate it all by itself, but
I'm not super a fan of them either. I did play them in Narset just because, but I feel like to pay the 1 to just get 1 to more or less fix wasn't super great for me, and I cut it out of my list.
Yeah, it is ramp, and if you're limited on your colors, but I feel like there's just so many other good mana rocks out there, Fellwar Stone and all that kind of stuff. But all right, so we got Narset. Narset has entered the chat.
And can we get an extra turn spell off the top, and then just Jacob can I don't see a haste enabler yet.
Yeah.
No haste enabler.
He's Chain of Vapor. He's going to cast Chain of Vapor here. What is he?
Can't bounce the Narset because she's got hexproof.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to bounce the Narset. What is he? Wait, what happened here?
Is he conceding? What's going on?
Oh, no, did he?
Chain of Vapor his own land? Why would he? So that he dies on his... What?
How did we...
Chain of Vapor his own land back.
No, he did... I don't know what just happened there.
That's weird. Yeah, because he had 5 lands, and...
But how did Narset... Narset doesn't have haste. Does he have something that gave Narset haste? Oh, wait, what is that here? Need for speed. Sacrifice a land, target creature gains haste until end of turn.
There you go. There's one of them.
But that's after. But that's after the Narset attack. Is it that land that he's got? What is that land that he's got there on the left?
I don't know. And the judge is in the chat, in that channel watching. That was weird.
Yeah. Maybe I thought that land was the. Maybe it's a land if you
go to his. I posted the list in the chat. Let's take a look and see.
Oh, okay.
What that could
probably.
What that list could have been. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I can't get the list to pull up. If it's a land that gives haste, that would be.
Yeah, that seems like that's got to be what it was. Yeah.
I don't know offhand what red lands do that.
What? Which chat did you post the list in?
In the admin voice, but I can't get it to open. I keep getting a weird error.
Oh.
So I can't.
Oh, I see. Commander Narset. Oh yeah, I get a weird error too.
That's weird. Marksville must be having a little bit of a.
Yeah.
I am very curious what that. Or was that just
Let's see here. So yeah, that was it. That was by Blue Farm. There was a haste enabler there. So.
Oh, you know what? I think that land that was I believe that land is the Shinika. How do you say it? The Bloodsoaked Keep. Pay a red, tap target legendary creature. Oh, that gives first strike. But that doesn't matter. We don't need first strike here. We needed a haste.
Oh, Flamekin Village. Flamekin Village enters the battlefield. You may reveal an elemental from your hand. If you don't, it comes into play tapped. Tap to add 1 red, or 1 red and tap it. Target creature gains haste until end of turn.
That's not bad.
Flamekin Village.
One of them for my Narset decks. That's a pretty good.
From the Commander 2014. Okay.
Nice. I've not seen that land before. That was pretty good for Narset coming in with that land out there.
Yeah, and then he drops the need for speed so he can give. So, all right. Well, when we were away doing that research there, we saw a Phyrexian Metamorph on Sisay's side getting a dockside. So he's just getting his counters here. His treasure tokens for that. Oh no, he got his own Narset. Spicy.
Ooh.
Droopy said, "Nope, I'm gonna play your commander. He doesn't want the dockside." Okay, interesting. Looks like Narset's swinging in. I guess it's going over at Droopy because Droopy doesn't want to trade. He's looking at his. Is that Enter the Infinite? Is that the? Yeah, he's got to Enter the Infinite.
Jeska's Will.
But he's choosing to play the Jeska's Will, huh? All right, this game, it just took an interesting turn. And he's doing some flips for the Jeska's Will. Oh, I see. He was doing the Jeska's Will first because he can cast any of those until end of turn. I see.
Now he's gonna muddle.
Well, you can't.
Where'd the muddle?
Oh, I see. The Swan Song on. I think we're attempting to cast Enter the Infinite, and he Swan Song the Enter the Infinite, and then he tried to muddle the mixture. And
then if he's got the Jace Planeswalker or Narset or Thassa's Oracle, he just grabs that and goes. And on my Narset list, I run the Jace Planeswalker. I don't run Thassa's Oracle as my win con, so he may.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He may have the. Now he's just going to dump out everything, ensuring his win. Mm-hmm. Full grip of protection. Yeah, he's got it here. I'm just curious what. There's the Jace.
Okay.
Yeah. And
just go straight to the Jace, man. Jace is the place. All right. Well, that was it.
All right. Well, Jacob wins.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. That was looked like we were really in for a slog, and then it just that Blasphemous Act just changed the game out of the blue. That was a fun one. I like that.
I did. Narset was hurting for a minute there when the Drannith Magistrate came down, and they really didn't have much of a board state. But that shows you how one of the OG commanders like Narset, really, even in today's meta, is still viable. You just kind of sit back, let each other do the things, and then the deck just gets enabled with things like Dockside. An old deck like that really was powered up through the years, and I think people kind of have forgotten and maybe slept on Narset a little bit here, because she's still a powerful commander, I would think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I am that it's in the colors for the Intuition Breach line. Definitely gives it legs to be able to have that that alternate win condition. In a manner of speaking, that you can always just kind of pivot to that. And then just go in the old school Narset ways of flipping extra turns or flipping Enter the Infinite. I mean, sure, why not?
What a way to go too.
Yeah. That was an interesting game. That was a fun one. Atraxa didn't really get to do much. I think he is sitting in fourth seat there. He was counting on that Draneth and that Bowmaster to kind of slow down the game enough to bring him through, and Sisay was kind of locked down by the Draneth and then by the Cursed Totem. Couldn't really get his mojo going. But it was a fun one. So had a good time calling these games today, and it was cool to see some old classic decks from the past coming in, and as well as the staples of the meta and things like that. So
absolutely,
make sure you sign up for the Arcane Series 4. What date's that one coming in May? You said?
Yeah, May the 4th. So hopefully,
right.
we'll get a nice turnout for that. Great showing. Maybe we'll see some more decks that are kind of vintage coming back out, and who knows what will take down that tournament. Every time we've had our tournaments, it's always been interesting commanders we've gotten to see a lot of spread of commanders. Even today, I don't feel like any one type of deck really dominated. We got to see a lot of interesting builds, which is always nice. That just shows how the format is continuing to thrive. And for those of us that love to build decks, and maybe gravitate more towards like the mid-power stuff, because there's more opportunities, this shows that even in cEDH there is the opportunities to have variants. Even though some of the combos are probably the same, you still have commanders and cards and slots that you can add in some of those pet cards and still really have some creativity to your deck building, and still be pretty viable as well.
Yeah. We saw Borborygmos do some things, and I remember when I first started playing Tivit, man, it was like, no, that's not a good commander. It's 6 mana, doesn't, too slow, can't do anything. And now it's definitely, in the top 10 of commanders out there in the meta. And so, yeah, bring your spicy build. I mean, we got the new set coming out. There's some spicy new cards in the new set. And hopefully in May, when we do Arcane Series 4, we'll see some of those new commanders from the new sets pop up and keep that variance rolling.
Absolutely, and don't forget to check out this week. Yeah, Gaming's releasing. You guys are releasing your Thunder Junction set, where you try to power up the precons a little bit. So maybe get some ideas from that even.
Yeah.
See what they do with their precons and how they take some of that and really amp it up. That would be. I can't wait to see that. I'm very curious for that when that comes out.
Yeah. It's a pretty spicy game. I'm doing the edit right now on it, so you'll get to see a pretty spicy combo go off. So
awesome. Well, thank you everybody who watched, and of course, thank you to our players. Thank you to our judge staff. Thank you to the people behind the scenes that you don't even know we're doing some of the things. And of course, thank you to Scotty for joining us.
Yeah.
We truly can't do this without you. It takes a village. It takes the community to come together to do these events. And I certainly could not do this without all of you here. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting us. And I hope to see you guys next month on May 4th for our May the 4th event. It's going to be a very spicy game, I imagine. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your weekend. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.